I got my sticky note for my doctor's appointment right here. My psychotherapist. No, just kidding.
Well, welcome.
I want to
this is a new show.
Welcome again to the show. Thank you very not again, right?
Once
welcome.
again.
Once again. Welcome once again, sir.
Whatever it takes.
They just had the Fulton County Register and Elections Board member Mark Wingate just testified in court last week. It was the first week in April, I believe. Yeah, the very end of March, first week in April. And it's huge information.
It's just a gift that keeps on giving out of Georgia, man. I'm just telling you. It's just...
Well, exactly. I mean, but the thing is, they like saying, he's going, Fannie Willis knows that there was no signature verification done in Fulton, and that Joe Biden won that election and won Georgia by 12,000 votes. Is what.
What you noted is that that's no signature verification done on 147,000 ballots. Is that what I understand?
Some people are saying it's 167,000, and it wouldn't just have influenced the presidency. It would have influenced the Senate because two Senate races were in runoff, and there was supposed to be a Blue Crest voting machine that was supposed to handle all the mail-in ballots, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't working, and so they didn't do any ballot, signature verification. So what they did?
So they just bypassed that whole thing because it wasn't working.
They didn't even, and they didn't even count them really. And they like took anything that wasn't signed, they just sent it back. So this is just every single judge, and they were throwing out cases left and right since the 2020 election. There's no evidence, right?
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well, so it's like that's why every Democrat you talk to said there's no evidence of voter fraud. The reason there's no evidence is because none of the cases are going to trial because the judges are political hacks and they don't want to see it. So it's like every single judge after this was found out that they should be immediately investigated as well.
I'm always blown away. I mean, you've really drilled down on this with the Georgia thing, and I'm always just kind of surprised with it. And
well, it just came out, yeah.
And Fannie Willis and the whole thing, and just how this whole trial is run is just so. It just boggles the mind.
But the guy said, like Mark Wingate said, he voted twice not to verify the election, and anybody that verified the election on the board of election registrars and electors, should be put under investigation. Because they certified it, and he goes, he requested chain of custody of the documents, and it was never turned over to him. He asked for surveillance footage of drop boxes, and not a single bit of footage was ever turned over to him. The third reason is that he'd asked for more information about the ballots that were seen on video being brought from under the table, and he said he'd receive more information on that. He never did. And so this is why he didn't vote to confirm the elections, but to certify the election. And it was just... it's egregious.
I like that word. I don't think I have those other two.
Oh, these are the last two I was working on.
Oh.
But I'm sorry for barking at you for interrupting me, but I let you finish through yours, and then you just all of a sudden go right into reading mine for me.
Well, no, I just thought you were glossing over it a little bit. I thought that you were moving on, and we were just going to have a conversation. So I didn't know you were. I don't like to read my TPTs as much as specifically, but I hear what you're saying. So, but what's this all about?
Well, that's it. It's just a huge number of mail-in ballots that were just, they're saying it's between 147,000 and 167,000 votes that were technically, if they're not verified, they are invalid. And Biden won by...
Unlike in California where Newsom
12,000 votes.
12,000
votes he won by. And there was 2 Senate runoff elections there. So you're telling me it would have changed the fabric of America in 2020.
Into tightly woven, or maybe more of a gauze?
A very tight micro-woven. Yes.
You're the one that knows more about
Yeah, it's a it's a
That kind of stuff.
microfiber woven tight weave fabric.
Well, anyway, getting back to the whole thing with the Fannie Wilson, George, and everything, it's just, I don't know, man. I mean, you know, it's like, I don't know if they're still under consideration that she lied under oath about her relationship, which you think is a minor thing. And it's like, and at the end of the day, it is a minor thing. So why would you lie about it? And that's a problem, is that she lied under oath.
Well, because it would immediately be a conflict of interest if she found out. That's why she lied about it, because it would have been a conflict of interest hiring somebody she was sleeping with. And then it would have been exposed in a better light.
But it's defensible because that's just a personal part of her life. It's not necessarily professional. So you can draw.
It has improprietish optics
implications. I understand that, but the point is that arguably she could say no. There's no, and you'd have to prove otherwise, and you couldn't prove otherwise because there's no proof there. But the point is that to lie under oath, the same way that Clinton lied under oath. His deposition with
we've gone over this
kind of star. I know, but I'm refreshing people's memories.
Yeah, time and time again.
There's no difference between the two, and it's like why she is even still in this position is boggling my mind.
Well, yeah,
are you biting your tongue?
No, you just. I mean, there is no definition of hypocrisy for some people in this political spectrum.
It's the end.
I mean, you can stare right at the face. You can deliver it to them on a platter, and they'll say, what are you talking about? You know, except for the NPR guy. You know, the NPR guy
who
that
came out and said,
who said that they like all 87 employees, 87 vote and give contributions to Democrats and 0 to conservative.
Well, I've watched,
and that's the National Public Radio.
Well, it's not just NPR; it's all of the public,
Associated Press, whatever, everything. But that's just an example.
Well, no, I'm talking about the publicly funded, and it's like,
oh yeah,
and you have NPR coming out or PBS, I guess, more appropriately, because aren't they one and the same?
It was PBS.
I don't know.
What was it?
I think it was PBS. It could have been NPR. But what's the difference? They're both Pravda. But the point is that they claim that only 1% of their budget comes from the federal government, which is it's how they kind of skew the numbers, because most of it, granted, is from
NPR.
Corporate sponsorship dollars.
NPR.
But okay, thank you for that clarification. But the point is that if they're claiming only 1% is being funded by the federal government, then cut them out. Then forget it. Then cut them out. We don't need to be funding NPR or PBS.
They don't need your 1%.
You know, they can go raise their money from corporate sponsorships, where they do, and individual donors, and whatever the case may be.
Capitalism.
And sell their T-shirts, and fine, and that's great. And it's like you can have whatever you want on there. I don't care, but don't act like you're speaking for America.
Well,
because you're discounting 49, 50%, 51% of the country.
And I don't think, it's 1%. It's not 1%.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah,
but it's how they skew the books and that kind of stuff, because there's other things at play, which I won't go into today. Well, George, it's interesting. I mean, I don't know if anything's going to transpire because of what has come up with 147,000 votes and that kind of thing.
Well, what do? You can't read. You know, you can't recount the election. You can't do. I guess you could do a re-election, but I mean,
I don't know if there's no precedent for that.
I know you can't, but I mean, and they were Dominion machines too. They'd use Dominion. Everybody still uses Dominion voting machines, which is
well. Didn't Dominion won a lawsuit against Fox News or Tucker Carlson, which is one of the reasons he was let go because of the fact
they're throwing out liable lawsuits like it's freaking Kleenex.
Well, then,
but it's just like, well, how do you think Venezuela? That's how they got Venezuela. That's how they elected the dictator of Venezuela.
I haven't been there lately.
But the Dominion machines did that. They used Dominion voting machines. Dominion voting machines, they're I don't have the specs on it now, but I've looked into this. You can hack the shit out of those things. And you can like somebody in charge can totally count these votes and don't count those votes.
What do you mean by flagging and setting up an algorithm and whatever the case may be?
Yes, it's just a corrupt voting system is the Dominion voting system.
Well, it's susceptible to corrupt manipulation, I think is what you're saying, and then you have to prove.
Well, not just me. Every like you've seen that clip with every Democrat candidate that was saying the voting machines need to be the voting machines this Dominion voting machines but then all of a sudden they win and they're quiet as a mouse.
I didn't know that. I had a quick question. This Mark Wingate, he's an elections board member, but no other elections board members have voiced their opinion.
There's a couple other testimonies of people that were in the counting of the Blue Crest, that were in charge of the Blue Crest machines.
Yeah.
And that's further down. But
Okay.
I sent you the links.
The links.
The links, but I don't. That was basically. I didn't do too many Twitter links because people kind of go, they don't trust it. They think it's this fake news or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, at the end of the day, let's get back to the root of Georgia, and that is Trump saying in a phone call, "Find the votes," and so that is just rife with interpretation and subjective.
He's saying
opinion.
there's got to be votes because of all, and you know the reason why he was saying that, right? He wasn't saying to them, "Hey, go change votes." He
Of
wasn't
course,
saying
I know.
that.
I believe that.
And
Well, I
and the mail-in votes. I mean, it's like they changed the election laws illegally in Georgia.
But again, what I want to do is the whole case is based on that phone call, right? And what he said.
That goes back to what I asked you.
This is what they're talking about.
So if he won anyway, her case would go bye-bye.
Yeah, but the point. Yes, that's right. But the point is that's not really illegal what he said.
It's not at all.
Because. Okay, because that's what I want to get down to the root for people to understand.
Yeah, the media
that's the whole
claims
crux
it's
of it.
illegal, but everybody's done that from every party for the history of the elections.
Well, there's all these co-conspirators and all that kind of stuff.
What's
too,
her name?
which
What's her name? Abramson? Casey Abrams? What's her name? Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
She still doesn't.
Oh, you mean says that she was?
She still says that she should have been elected.
Well, and that's the thing too, dude. It's just a chorus that comes from the left or the right. If they don't win the election, then it's fraud. We just have to come to expect that now. Getting back to the fact that,
we got the receipts, we got evidence on fraud.
You vote in person. You have your
Well,
ID.
we know that. I mean, we don't even need to go in that. You need ID. Make it a holiday, a 2-day holiday.
1 day holiday is plenty.
1 day holiday is plenty, whatever. But and like I was talking to a buddy, have an A to L on one day, M to Z on the next day.
I think we can have it all in 1 day. We have the infrastructure.
We used to be
do
able
that.
to, Tim, but we can't anymore because we don't have the America has gone down so far. They can't all vote 1 day, and they're not smart enough to, if they're not going to be here, to request a mail-in ballot.
Yeah.
They must be mailed out to everybody, and
Okay, good. You tempered yourself. I'm impressed. It's unusual.
anybody that is at the DMV needs to get a mail-in ballot too. Any illegal immigrant that takes any sort of subsidies gets a mail-in ballot too. Let's get as many mail-in ballots as we can that you can't really track. That's just a great idea for safe and secure elections.
How do you guys feel about having voter ID in this country and a day of
And I think
special election
honestly,
day,
okay, I'm
that
going to
kind of
put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm thinking 80% are fine with it. No, I would almost say 85%.
This
are fine
audience, because we lean conservative. I mean,
I'm talking all. You take everybody.
the majority of people are pro voter ID in this country.
And pro no late-term abortions. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Boy, that's a swing.
Switch! But yeah, it's like, and so why can't we get it done, Tim? Why can't we get it done? If the majority of the people want...
Well, let's see what happens in
Voter ID.
2024, bro. We got a big. It's going to be an exciting summer, and leading up to the election in 2024, November, and we'll see what people really want to do. It's like, anyway, let's button this up. Is there a button up?
You got a button up for me.
I do have a button up, but it's kind of off the top of my head because I just read this thing where
That's kind of how I roll.
about your friend Hillary Clinton, and
Oh, I love Hillary's jumpsuit.
I know you're a big fan, but she got in trouble. She gets in
Yeah,
trouble.
my wife used to drop flyers for her, knock on doors for her.
She did.
She did.
Wow. Is it she really, what I kind of find kind of humorous about Hillary Clinton and everything is that she takes, umbrage with some of the opinions of the
There it is.
progressive
You
side.
got to have an umbrage bomb.
And I use that word. I got to get over it. The point is that, and they all kind of come at her about, whatever, about Israel, about this or about that or whatever. And the latest thing is that she came out and said, everyone needs to stop bitching and whining. I'm paraphrasing about who we get a vote for. It's either Biden or Trump. She's like, you guys need to get over it. She's talking mostly the progressive. She's like, because those are your choices. And that's it. And the progressives are all up in arms.
But what else did she do?
Oh, I'm just gonna. We're just gonna.
Well, do you know what else she did do?
We're just gonna stay on that
Yeah, but then
subject matter.
she's already laying the footwork for the election being stolen by Republicans.
No, yes, she is. I know.
What do you mean she is? That's
They
probably
all are.
that was a bigger megaphone than what you just said.
Dude, I see it on both sides. I see it every day.
Because
When
there's
Republicans
proof
are saying it's going to be
Republicans
this,
have
and
proof
the Democrats
of it.
are going to be saying
Republicans have proof of it
well, I haven't seen anything
because the
go
courts
to court.
aren't taking the cases. You're just repeating.
I'm their megaphone.
Yes, I mean you call it a conspiracy theory, but it's not. I'm gonna have to start sending. You're gonna get blistered with links of.
Who's got that kind of time? If you enjoy life more,
Where is it? No, I know, but
enjoy
I mean,
life more.
I would enjoy life if people would listen to facts. But,
Well, like I said, it's like if there was, incontrovertible facts.
I wish I had.
And evidence.
There's a specific website saying convictions on the 2020 election and how across the country where they were, and I'll send you that website.
What's
and you can
2011 mean?
2020 elections.
Oh.
I don't enunciate very clearly often. But it'll show you, and there's thousands and thousands of them that have been convicted for voter fraud. And
That sounds like a lot, but I'm going to take your word for it. And I know what you're talking
I'll
about.
send you, and I'm going to show, we'll post that link later.
Well,
We'll post that link somewhere.
MTV, get the vote out. They're rock the vote or whatever. And it's like people just vote based on a Twitter or whatever it's called. What's the kids?
How do we vote? How do we ballot harvest?
TikTok.
How do we go about and ballot? I thought that was.
Nobody wants
I
to
thought
have-
you just said TikTok.
TikTok. Nobody wants to have critical thinking as part of their daily, habits. And again, it's like, dude, it's like we're inundated, as we talked about earlier this morning, with barraged with all kinds of different information on the left and the right. It's just crazy,
But
man.
this Georgia election, I mean, that's just
Getting back
flat
to
out.
that.
It should be recalled. But you know what?
The whole I don't know about this.
Or the people should be judges that wouldn't take this case because we should be disbarred. And the Board of Elections guys that certified this election should be fired. It's just like, do you not agree with that? I know you need to see more testimony.
I need to see it. I need a license, girl.
You need more.
Dude, it's good stuff. I know, dude. It's like there's legitimacy to everything. All of those arguments. I hear it.
It's
I don't
serious
tell you.
stuff.
But the ship has sailed. We're moving on. We have to look forward. Don't look in the rearview mirror. Blah blah blah. We got 2024 coming up.
And this is
Let's
just
see
this is just a typical election.
You're
fraud
educating some
case.
people. Whatever. That's great. Maybe. Hopefully they will snap out of it.
I hope it doesn't bust any bubbles of the non-election fraud out there.
Okay. You got a good affirmation.
Yeah.
Come on, you love it when I throw those at you. Be kind to one another.
You know what? I need to be prepared for a good one, and I never
One
prepare.
another, even those on the other side.
Go to singing lessons.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thank you very much, and enjoy your day. Be positive.
Be
Have
positive.
hope in humanity.
Yeah.
I was telling it to a buddy this morning. He's like, hope. Hope is a terrible word. I'm like, hope is a good word.
It's the best word.